Hello, everyone. Welcome to this open Q&A Gathering Offline session. So I just want to start by giving a quick update to those in the room and those who may be watching after on the gathering and what's up. I think most of the ecosystem knows what the gathering is about, so I won't give too much of the generic information, but we'll dive into details a bit more. And then we'll open the space for Q&A. I think instead of doing a check-in, because I'm aware, Claudia, you have to go as well, we can just, whenever you guys want to ask a question, maybe introduce yourselves quickly, just name, location, and a few words about your project or you. So what's new with the gathering deadlines? Yes, so we have redefined a little bit the roadmap between now, so 24th April, and the gathering, which as a reminder is 11 until 15th of September 2024. I will put all those specific dates on the website as well before next week, so you have them. But a few things around the event first. So event is 11 to 15, that's a Wednesday until the Sunday. Just in case that wasn't clear, we have time before the event and after the event for what we call the build and then the end build. So this is not at all mandatory. It's for those either who want to join, who have decided they wanted to actually build something for their camp. Again, it's not mandatory. It is possible. So the build is 4 to 5 days before. So it will start on the 7th of September, and the end build runs until the Tuesday. So if some of you can, stay after to help us clean up and continue a little bit the co-living experience, the land will be open until the Tuesday, 17th of September. So that's that. And again, I'll add the dates on the website. Now, in terms of the roadmap running all the way to September, so the deadline to sign up as a camp, meaning to tell us, yes, I commit to building a camp. And when I say sign up, for us to sign up process is what you may have heard about before, which is this commitment video that Paco, you just sent us a few days ago. So the commitment video is again this 30 seconds to 2-minute video that you record saying, hey, I'm Claudia. I represent, X organization, and we commit to building a camp at the gathering. This is what we do, and this is what we would like to offer in this co-creation effort, and this is what we hope to receive from the gathering. And this is our process, basically to create a ritual and to replace what in other cases may be an MOU or a contract or such less meaningful things. So 1st of June is the deadline for this. Yes. I will give you the internal reality. In my internal deadlines, I have until the 15th of June. I'm saying 1st of June because we already have quite some camps confirmed. And basically, if we're full in terms of camps, we won't be able to accept anyone. So if we're not full, we will continue accepting for a while, but I can't guarantee that that will be the case after the 1st of June. So this is also not just for us, but for you guys, so that you don't end up being rushed and that this doesn't become an overwhelming effort, but rather a beautiful, joyful co-creation enterprise. So yeah, and 3 months is I think quite nice to prepare. So 1st of June. The reason also I have set up this deadline is that I want to dedicate the 2 months before the gathering more, meaning the summer months, to working with the land, which will also involve us as a team communicating to you, camps, asking for what we call your wish list, meaning what kind of space would you like to have on the land? What do you need to have access to? Would you like to sell food, etc., etc., so that we can then together create the puzzle, divide the land up, basically, and also have enough time and sessions to start working together on potentially the program. This doesn't have to happen. Again, it's an experiment, but I think it will be nice for some camps at least to be able to talk to one another, saying, hey, I plan to do a workshop on this topic. What are you guys doing? Should we do something together? How can we basically avoid duplication and really create something that's coherent also at event level? Again, while minimizing the coordination efforts. So that's that. Other than those deadlines, there's not much except from now on, it's the sooner the better. So the tickets are live already for two camps, Eternal Forest and Frequency Village. And basically, yeah, the more tickets can go up in the coming days and weeks, the better, so that everyone again has time to share with their networks and so on and so forth. This is also so that you guys as camps can start having a cash flow running, right? That we're not, late. Claudia, you asked about the vendors. I'm not sure whether you're talking about the food vendors or if you're asking whether people are allowed to sell things at the gathering.
I was asking about food vendors, but also the other thing would be interesting to know.
Yeah. So food vendors. We have right now two food vendors. One that is confirmed, the one that is almost confirmed, and I was supposed to speak to them now, but I will tomorrow. One is the Garden, which is the partner, the venue partner. They have a big, beautiful professional kitchen and a great cooking team. So they will be selling food using the space. Potentially Ananda Valley will be selling food. They do it professionally in events and they're interested in building a camp, so they may have this. And that's it. And then on top of this, the idea is that we would bring in either camps want to do that, in which case we will discuss and talk about capacity and so on and so forth. Otherwise, I will bring in food vendors from the outside to make sure there is a high diversity of food options available for everyone, and that we also really bring in a regenerative ethos to the food that is being sold. However, this will depend on tickets sold, right? So I haven't confirmed additional vendors for now because I need to know whether we will be 450 or 700 people, basically. But if any of you guys as camps either are interested in selling food and doing this, then reach out to me. Or if you know someone who operates ideally in Portugal, even more ideally in North Portugal, local, that is really, making food with this alignment, then definitely reach out to me. I would love to. Are people allowed to sell things at the event? So for this year, we're taking a experimental approach, which means that we have decided not to police that. If someone comes and wants to sell something, it's fine, they can. And we will see how that goes. Depending on how that goes, we will then together make a decision about the next edition in 2026. But for now, yeah, which also means that if people want to, for example, offer, I don't know, a movie screening or a workshop and they want to do that on donation, they would like to ask people for donations, they can. I'm not going to prevent anyone from doing that. It's fine. I mean, we're super transparent on everything. Everyone has an understanding of the financial aspect of this, right? Which is ticket price is 100 euros base. Camps can add something on top of it if they need to make this financially sustainable for themselves as well. And then within the event, it's basically, I think the best way to explain it is also to see it as a sort of eco village for 5 days, right? This will be an experiment in living together also with everything that comes with it, money included. So, yeah. Hey, Jeremy, maybe. Um, so,
I have another question about this.
yes,
I'm
please.
new to the whole, well, the ticketing stuff. So the 100 euros per ticket, is this money that then that camp can invest in building their camp? Is all of that money going there, or is it going to the main organization of the Gathering of Tribes?
The 100 euros, all of this is going to us, to the organization of the Gathering of Tribes. I can put in the description the link to our overall budget, which is
Oh,
public.
great.
But basically, I can already share. I have before the 100 euros per person covers our hard costs, which are the rental of the venue for 10 days for 600 people, which is yeah above 10,000 euros. A few basic expenses like website maintenance and bank account fees and so on, and a small salary for me. That's basically it. There's other
Okay.
details which you can have a look at, but that's it. So this is what 100 euros for between 5 and 700 people cover. And then Elke, basically what you have the opportunity to do is to, as a camp, to run the event as to run your camp as your own event, sorry, meaning, we have to get 100 euros per person, but on top of that, you can add your costs. So if you say, well, I'm going to run the 7 billion president camp, it's going to take me 1 hour every week for a month or 2 months, whatever. And I would like to pay myself for that. So I will add 50 euros per person. I think I can bring 30 people to my camp, and then I pay myself. And to make this super easy, we have templates that are available in our camp folders online, where you can just add what type of expenses, how many people you would like to have in your camp, and it automatically calculates your ticket price.
Gorgeous. Okay, thank you. And on that, you just mentioned 30. What is like it's up to you how big your camp will be, or there's like a ballpark kind of thing, like a minimum, maximum moment, or?
So we have decided not to set minimum or maximum, but there is a ballpark, which is about 20 to 25 people.
Okay.
The really rough numbers, so you have an idea also of the space, is between 30 and 35 camps of
Oh, wow.
about 25 people.
Okay, that's big. I like it.
I don't know. Is that about 700 people? I think this should be around the 600 or 700 mark. But that's that being said, you have Frequency Village, for example, are doing a camp that's a bit bigger. They're planning to have about 80 people. And there is also camps that will have 5 people, right? And that's fine.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you.
I had, yes, and just for you, Elke, and anyone who is listening, also maybe you, Claudia, just a reminder of the process as well. So the idea is that you can have a call with me as well. I can walk you through the process of the budget. But the word for this year is really, let's try and keep it simple as a as an ecosystem, because the process is really hybrid and flexible, and it can become complicated quite quickly. And we're trying to reduce coordination efforts for everyone. So simple is good. Simple works usually, just to kind of reinforce that. And the process is you decide, so you send us your commitment video. We put it online, your camp. Once you've sent that to us, we send you your logging details to enter in our platform. This allows you to write the description of your camp on the platform, meaning basically who you are as an organization or a group of organizations, what questions you have, what questions are like for you, what you want to bring into this space. Very simple. Then you communicate to us your ticket price, meaning, okay, the base ticket price for the gathering is 100 euros. I want to add 50 euros on top of that, and I would like to bring about 30 people. If you can't bring 30 people, it's fine. It's just for us to have a sense, more or less. We tell you yes, put that onto our Stripe payment system. We generate your ticket link and your payment link. We put that on your page, and from this moment on, you can send this link to your camp page to all the people you want to invite. They pay directly. We manage all of this for you, and then we pay you back the difference. And that's it, basically. What will happen, maybe also, let's see, around summertime when ticket sales really have started, is capacity management, right? We have an overall capacity, and we have 35 camps with various amounts of people invited. So if we are starting to reach capacity when we reach 70%, I will recalculate basically maximum per camp, and then I will communicate to people in a way that's as fair as possible. But this is also to encourage everyone to kind of get started as soon as possible with the process, because we're going to get stuck towards the end with capacity management. Yeah. I mean, we won't get stuck. It will be fine, but yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
So I have a question regarding the logistics. We come from Canary Islands, so we'll need to bring our pots and cattle and everything for survival of the camp. I guess the organization doesn't provide anything.
Yeah, so the way it will work with food is obviously the food vendors will provide you with whatever you need to eat said food. But there will also be community kitchens too on the land, for which, yeah, we won't be able to have utensils available for everyone. So we will ask people to bring them. However, I will just add from my experience of festivals and just large events, people do tend to share, right? So those who are coming from further away can probably rely a little bit on those who are just driving from, the nearby regions. Yeah.
Okay.
I would hope collaboration will also be in the kitchen space. Yeah.
And on that note, I'm planning to like have this whole trip beforehand, including like hikes and everything. So I'm also kind of puzzling what it is that I would need for getting a tribes, like what I need, like tents, like sleeping bag, all of this stuff. I'm assuming yes, right? Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, in the €100 base ticket price, you have camping included, right? And there will
Like a
be camping
space.
space for the
Yeah.
space. Yeah. So we won't provide the tents.
Mhm.
There is glamping available. It is almost live. It's basically live on the website. I just haven't pushed it yet, but you will be able to book glamping. We have, just so you know, about 200 glamping, not tents, spaces for individuals available.
Mhm.
So if you really don't want to bring anything, you can always book a glamping tent and share it with your friends or some people. Otherwise, yes, you would need to bring a tent.
Okay, good. How big would the glamping tent be? Like, is it for 2 people or bigger groups?
There is teepees, which are for one person.
Okay.
They're quite cheap. And then there is belt tents, which are the 4-meter belt tents, which can be shared between 2 or 3 people. And then we have the 5-meter belt tents, which can be shared between 3 or 4 people.
Amazing.
And you have all those 5 options available on the website. Yeah.
Thank you. I will puzzle and see what's.
Yeah. Yeah. I will add that to the website. I haven't put it yet, but I'll make a list of the hotels available nearby. Some people really don't want to camp, which, is fine. The land is really right next to a small village and a couple of small villages actually. So for those who are coming by car and want to stay in a hotel, they can do that also. I'll put links to booking.com. Yeah. Yeah, wanted to say something else, but I forgot. I think that's it. But yeah, no, you actually launched me on the logistics. Just to say again, but it's important, the land is about 40 to 45 minutes drive away from Porto Airport, meaning you can take an Uber or a taxi from the airport to the land if you're coming by plane. If you're driving, it helps you situate the land. Basically, it's just a little bit inland from the coast, and there is obviously trains going to Porto. Paco?
You just answered my question. I was going to answer close to which town or where was exactly around.
Nice.
Oh, good, good.
Yeah. North Portugal, where it's basically right next to the Spanish border.
Okay. Great.
And so I've gotten the request from people to put better photos of the land. I mean, more like realistic photos of the land, because there is a folder in the camp folder with all the photos of the land, but they're great photos and they're beautiful, but they're from events. So I'm going to the land next week and I will take non-fancy, non-marketing photos of this is what it looks like, but just so you have an idea, it's basically a forest. There's a really big lake we can swim in. And it's quite nice for the gathering because it really has a lot of like small spaces that are kind of isolated from one another. So yeah, the town village is called Ponte de Lima. I'm putting it here. It's in the chat. I tried my Portuguese accent. Ponte de Lima. Yeah.
Yes. Another question that's popping in my mind is how would I bet it's different, right, for every camp or case, but how much time do you think one person would dedicate to building this camp per week? Because yeah.
Yeah, you mean to beforehand, right? Before the event.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
from like now on, like if you would be committing, yeah, I would send the video and then you would be, you know, getting stuff together and like maybe
Yeah.
you have an idea of this from previous years.
So not really from previous years, but I do have a rough idea. This is not exact science, obviously, and that's why I said at the start to Claudia, encouragement or invitations to keep it simple, because you can decide to make an insane camp with 100 people and to do a program that runs from 6 a.m. until 10 p.m. every night for 5 days, and this will take you, it will be a full-time job for 3 months. But it's really not the invitation. So honestly, there's two things that we're inviting you to take agency on. Number one is to invite people. So think through, who do you want to have in your camp? Like, who are you working with at the moment? Who do you want to work with? Who are your clients, potential clients, beneficiaries, partners, etc.? Yes, Jeremy. What? So think about who do you want to have in your camp and then invite them. We are designing quite a lot of marketing materials and communications, meaning we're making like Instagram posts and so on, and we will send all of those to you, and we can add your logos and so on onto them, so that you just have to reshare that to your network, basically. If you want to make your own, you can, of course, but so for this, think through your partners and invite them. I don't know, think through your partners 2 hours, invite them a day. It depends on your network. And then the program, again, for me, it's really keeping it simple. So you have 5 days. Imagine you have 30 camps all doing something. So I really wouldn't plan activities for more than 40% of the time maximum. I think if each camp does already, 3-4 hour max of workshops activities a day, that's a lot. I think it's really important to have time of nothing, of just let's be there, let's eat, let's network, let's just walk around, see who I bump into, and let serendipity do the work. And time to go and attend other people's events, right? See what they're up to and so on. So with this, if you organize, one per day, say, or 2 per day. Oh, hello.
Hi, sweetie. Hi, everyone. Please don't mind me. I'm having lunch.
No worries. I'll just meet you. Yeah. So yeah, I would say between 1 and 2 hours. So again, the invitation though is that the people who you invite to be in the camp with you are also potentially facilitators of those workshops, right? That's how we are doing it with a lot of camps. Like, for example, I invite, I don't know, 6 people from my team, and this person is so great at doing this embodied workshop, and this person will explain complexity science to regenerative leaders. And that's already 2 days done, right, of program. And then this person, I would love to have a closed activity, a team circle where we just share and That's one. So yeah, sorry, it's a bit vague. It's really hard for me to give hours, but basically what I'm saying is kind of up to you. The only thing that's not up to you is really this, thinking through the people and inviting them. Yeah. I also wanted to say, we will be running, I want Rob Dreaming, who is a council carrier, will be facilitating council circles every day in the morning, probably. And we will ask basically 1 person or 2 per camp to join those. Can be camp leaders, but doesn't have to be. And those council are just a way for everyone in the whole space to be together, to resolve any conflict that may have been arising, to just sense the vibe and the energy. And so just for you to know that already morning, wake up, there's going to be yoga and other activities, there's going to be the council, there's going to be the breakfast. Like, time will fly. So
Okay, thank you.
Very soon, Elke, and I can share it with everyone, we will start having camp programs. People are working on it right now, but we will start having this, so we'll start sharing them in the camp folders, and you can have a look and get inspired also by what others are doing.
Yeah, and to make sure that it's, you know, dispersed over the day, kind of.
Exactly. Yeah. And then also invitation to all of you. Actually, this is more of a nest right now. But we have the nest, right? Which is this bi-weekly meeting. It's happening next Wednesday. For all the camp builders and leaders to be together, to have that space. It's 90 minutes. And as we move along, this will more and more become a space of, hey, what are you doing? What did you plan? Who are you inviting? Should I invite, you know, so.
Yeah, and this session was more of an open call to anybody who's interested, and then that's really the nest of the people who are leading the.
Exactly. The
Okay.
nest, you're only invited if you've sent us your commitment video.
Yeah.
Meaning it's really for the camp leaders so that we can drill deeper into
Yeah, of
the,
course.
okay, let's get it done kind of thing.
Understand it. I have one other question. How's the grant going?
We heard from the EU last, I mean, it's going really well. We're looking now for additional funding. But we got a message from the EU that we won't hear back before late summer. So I think they got a lot of, in general, Erasmus this year got a lot of applications, so it's a bit delayed. So we have to be patient. Yeah.
Okay. Good to know. Fingers crossed.
Yeah. I mean, don't cross them now because until August is, you know, let's start in a couple of months. Yeah. Any other questions? Otherwise, I want to go to Simon and talk about questioning the generation a bit.
I have one related
Yeah.
to camper. Camper vans are allowed, or yes?
Yes, camper vans are allowed. I started saying because I'm speaking about it with the land at the moment. So the land has a car parking space and a camper parking space for the events that they usually organize. However, their events are much smaller than the gathering, and they don't have 35 camps, right? So we have to redesign the whole land. But there's quite a lot of people that are going to be coming with vans and campers, so I think we will use at least part of that dedicated space. The only thing that I'm not sure I will, well, that I know I cannot promise is that people will be able to bring their camper to their camp space, because not all camp spaces will be accessible by car, right? So it may be that you have to leave the camper, and that the camp where the activities happen will be a little bit out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, because otherwise the camps will really be all over the land, and it would be, yeah. So I don't know yet, and it will depend on how many people need this, but just to be on the safe side, under promise, over deliver.
Okay, thank you so much. I should go now, but I will keep in touch.
Thank you so much, Claudia.
Thank you. Bye.
Speak soon.
Bye, everyone.
All right. Tamara, Jeremy, any questions? I think Jeremy is in a painting workshop. Much more fun. Okay, then I just want to say a few words about, because Simon here has been super wonderful, and he is a collaborator of the gathering and has been leading our questioning the generation series since, wow, Simon, I think since October, right? Wow. Yeah. So for a while, so questioning the generation, you may have seen it around, but it's this series of online webinars that started a while back in February and that we're running every 2 weeks. It's really relevant for camp builders because the space basically was designed so as to invite questions on specific topics. So we had sessions on ecosystem restoration and agriculture and art and so on and so forth. And we wanted to invite questions so that people could use those questions to build their camp and to build their program, basically, for the gathering. And we are now thinking through basically how to take it forward and whether we need to redesign it slightly or not in a way that is most useful to you guys, and not just an open webinar for everyone, which I'm not saying it was, but so there's one thing we're going to be discussing just this week, actually this coming Friday, which is we harvested a lot of questions from the past 6 sessions or 5 sessions. And there's the big question of what do we do with the questions? So more will be coming on this, but yeah, Elke, to your question as well about the program, it might be that actually we take all those questions and we assemble them in a way that it sort of makes sense, and then we sort of hand them over as a gift to the camp builders to say, hey, you know, you're working on regenerative organizations or economics. Here are all the questions we harvested from that session on that topic. Maybe think through those in the context of your camp activities and see where that takes you. Something along those lines. Simon, you want to add something or ask something?
Oh, thank you so much, Audrey. You've done a brilliant job of introducing that. I think what my reflection is that personally, I had some particular ideas as to how it might go, and I don't think it's quite gone that way. We're kind of getting there, but I'm really wondering just if anybody happens to have any input on this topic, really, of how do you see? I think the basic question underlying this all is, you know, connecting for action. So it's how are we going to bring people together around themes, topics, or as Victor prefers to call them, spheres in the regenerative space. So the question is, do you have, and this is open question to anybody that's here really, do you have any ideas about how any events that you might put on, how they are going to be themed, or what are the kind of issues involved, and would it help to be clear about the questions, and if so, anything like that? But I think, you know, Audrey's done a great job of introducing it. So if you've got any kind of response, I'd be really interested to hear. Or just feel free to ask questions. If I've not been clear, then feel free to ask. Really happy to expand on anything because it's difficult to explain. So don't feel embarrassed at all if I'm talking nonsense to you. Just ask.
May I?
Please.
So we have battled with the same question for years, because what we do is basically establishing new norms across sectors, like following up the regenerative movement in different sectors and facets of life, such as agriculture and infrastructure and construction and education and healthcare and, you know, all of these things. So in the end, what we came up with is where it all actually fits in is the socioeconomic system. The socioeconomic system built on a social movement. So that would be my answer. On a social regenerative movement, yeah.
That sounds really nice. And the question I'd like, if I may follow up, what are the particular people's interests in the whole socioeconomic system, which will bring people together for particular action in particular ways? Because, I mean, just from my perspective, if somebody invites me to come to a workshop to fix the socioeconomic system, I think, I can't fix it all at once.
Yeah. The way I see it is, it's really about changing the status quo and then establishing new norms, right? Like, and then whatever it is that each individual does, that's like what they do in their field. I don't know if that makes sense, right? So it's about changing the status quo and establishing new norms. And then
Okay, so if somebody has a kind of bright idea, hey, this is my idea, how do they gather people together other than just by saying, hey, look, here's an idea and I'm going to try and disseminate it everywhere I can, which is a bit haphazard, if I might say that, a bit sort of random. Whereas, and this is the idea of having themes of some sort originally came from Victor himself. He was saying, like, you know, let's gather around these different themes. And yeah, have I said enough?
But I don't know. What came up for me is
right.
Then bring it down to the core, right? Like
Yep.
for us, for instance, it's about inclusion, it's about
Mhm.
sustainability and regeneration. And I think that's more tangible than socioeconomic system because we're not
Yeah.
too used to hearing the term, right?
So
Yeah.
a last question for you then, Tamara, thanks, is like, do you have a list of the areas which do you have any kind of list of the sectors and the areas of regeneration which you've kind of agreed on or worked through?
Yes, for sure.
Could you send it, please?
You can look it up. It's online.
yeah.
It's on our webpage. It's
Great.
USEE.global. You can find it in our vision.
Great. We'll do that. Thanks very much.
Yeah, there is some more to it because we actually did develop the system, like the framework for a new socioeconomic system. It's not online at the moment because we're awaiting patent application. So yeah, but in our vision you can see pretty much everything.
Amazing. Thank you for that, Tamara.
Sure.
We have about 15 minutes remaining. I just want to open the space for any other inquiries. Thank you, Simon, by the way. What do you need from us to build your camp?
Actually, what was just mentioned, this guidance on, you know, these essential questions, for me, that would be very useful because, well, yeah, if I would be building the camp for 7BP, I'm quite new there relatively, and there are so many interesting people, so many different interesting topics, and yeah, I would love to hear like what the space considers to be the most like catalyzer for change. So yeah, I would love that file or whatever it is.
Yeah, I'll put it in the chat now. So we have everything is a work in progress, but you will find a lot of information there. We have, as I was saying, a Drive folder called Camp Info Pack.
Camp Info
Pack, and I've put it in the chat here.
Thank you.
That's great. Yeah. So this is really for camp builders. There is what I mentioned. You have a folder for budgets and financial information with the budget templates. There's the responsibilities of the camp leaders, details for the commit to camp video, links to our commitment videos, templates, guides, things, photos of the land, and so on. I am working on updating the camp builders guide document with the additional information that we are receiving as time goes on. Yeah, we're continuously updating it. So also, if you have feedback on this stuff that you need that's not there, definitely just reach out.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, humans. If there's no more questions,
can I just
end there? Yes, please.
Yes, and just Simon, coming back to your question, whatever you can't find online, I'm very much available to talk with you. So you know, reach out anytime. You can find me on LinkedIn or let me just or email us on the website.
If you can pop, if you can just pop an address in, that would be great.
Yeah, sure.
Nice. Thank you, Tamara.
Sure.
Yeah. One of the interesting things with the gathering is really the fact that it's cross-sectoral, that it's so cross-sectoral. So we're going across horizontally, but also in terms of sizes, maturity of organization, sizes, and types of organization, right? So we're going to have large corporates and tiny NGOs and associations and people who are doing a project together who don't have a legal entity, so on and so forth. And so I think this will bring a lot of interesting conversations and dialogues and innovations. But to contextualize, Tamara, what Simon was saying also, that's why we've been thinking so much about the need for categorization, understanding that we're trying to go beyond categories, right? This is established. But if I'm at this event and there's so much happening, what tools can we create together to give people the ability to not miss out, right? I'm coming to the gathering because I want to learn about ecosystem restoration. That's it. I have 5 days to take a crash course on ecosystem restoration. How do I find those people and those events? That's kind of the part of the context of the questioning with generation. Yeah. And to mention also, this is very linked to the app, which will, we're developing an app which will be probably in its beta version at the gathering, but it will allow people to do live programming, meaning to adapt the program of activities. So allocate to your question earlier, like I decided to run an impromptu workshop under the big tree next to the lake for 2 hours, and I'm going to talk about 7 billion presidents. Anyone join me? You will be able to just add that to the app in live, and to tag it with the spheres that Simon was talking about, if you wish to do so that people can really find you. So yeah. Okay. Any other questions? I like that we had Regions Unite HQ just working in the background.
I do have a question.
Yes.
I would very much love to actually do exactly that, hold a workshop talking about SWARG, which is our Sustainable Vision Advancement and Regeneration Guide, which, you know, is the socioeconomic system we develop. And my question here is there anybody by chance right here, right now, that would be able to coach me getting ready for that? Because I've never done anything like that. Somebody in the kitchen is waving. Jeremy.
Yeah, I think Jeremy is your guy, actually, for sure.
Yeah, like if you want to do like a workshopy thing, or do you want to do like a presentation-y thing? Because I do workshopy thing, not so much presentation-y thing. Here, let me give you a link and we can bond.
Nice.
Yeah, let's do that. Thank you.
Right. If there's no more questions, I'll stop the recording. Thanks, everyone. See you next time.
Thank you so much, Audrey, and everyone.